Good morning, good morning. Uh, I understand some people aren't going to be here yet, but I want to thank you guys, VOD watchers, some of you guys for stopping by. Thanks for stopping by the YouTube channel. Thanks for checking out my content. Please remember, if you do like it, hit that like and subscribe button. It'll really help me out here in the future. And if you guys want to catch me live when I can go live, go ahead, follow me on Twitch at BulkyTheYoshi. Hit that follow button. Give me some support if you really want to. But today, on stream, I'm gonna be playing balloons, but I'm not really gonna be playing balloons. Like, I'll be playing balloons, I'll just have it in the background, just wait for me to play some music and stuff, have something going on that you guys can watch. Yeah, it's a morning stream. But yeah, today, what you guys will be seeing is gonna be balloons. I'm gonna be talking about some of the new magic cards, some theory crafting. Just because new magic sets coming out here in a couple weeks, and I just want to give my thoughts on some of the commanders and stuff, some of the cards that are coming out, the new battle cards that are coming out, and the new siege mechanic. I don't know if it's actually called the siege mechanic, but I'm gonna call it the siege mechanic. Just because you're actually trying to fight them. So yeah, battles are kind of like, I think, enchantment auras or curses that you put on players. So you don't put it on yourself, you put it on an opponent, and anybody except the opponent it's under can attack it. The opponent it's under has to try to defend it to keep it from you, I guess. But if you're playing commander, usually it's a 4-player pod, so 3 players can attack it. When it enters the battlefield, the caster gets an effect, and it has defense points, so it has its own toughness. When it gets to 0, then it exiles, and the owner of the battle can cast it, so whoever casted it again can put it on the other side without paying anything. And there's no cost on the other side, so it just kind of flips over, becomes their card now. This is kind of how it works. Some battles start as a battle, so they start as a permanent and they turn into a sorcery. Some turn into planeswalkers, some turn into creatures, some turn into enchantments. They're cool. I don't think there's any that are too overpowered. Maybe one, but just because it lets you get cards from outside the game that you're not playing with right now. And it just, that's going to take people a while to get used to. And, like, the hope is that if they know what spell they're going to want for the deck, they just have it on the sideboard or with their box or whatever, and they just have it with them. That makes the most sense to me. Might not make the most sense to other people, but I think that's how it should work. But yeah, it's gonna be a chill morning. Like I said, I'm gonna be playing balloons. It's gonna be on in the background. Chat, how's your day going? I know it's Monday. I know it's kind of early, but it's not too early. It's just a little early. It's 9:30 about. So I know I see Poco in stream, so I know they're an active chatter. I appreciate them. It's real nice to have you. Real nice to see you stop by. I think for today's stream, I'll probably be focusing on. You can't even do the assignment. Oh, that's funny. It sucks. You can't do it, but it's funny that you can't do it too. So I think the main legends I'm gonna be focusing on this morning are gonna be Hidetsugu and Kairi, because they're doing this new combo legend mechanic. Not like partnered, but it's 2 legends on the same card. Really cool. So I'll be focusing on one of those. I'll be focusing on a flip legendary creature. So one of the completed planeswalker or legendary creatures, they start out like their normal side, and then you can pay some extra mana and some Phyrexian mana, so 2 life or the color. Flip it over to the other side, transform it, and it becomes completed. It's a Phyrexian now. So I'll probably be going over one of those. And one of the actual Praetors, I don't think we've seen the new Urabrast yet. He's the one we haven't seen yet. But we have seen the others. Yeah, roll 0 the extra card. Just so that it's easier. Don't take up extra time. You can also find a card from your deck or from your graveyard, I believe. But you don't have to go find a deck from outside the game, or a card from outside the game. You can, but you don't have to. Let's see. Where is Invasion of Arcavios? Coldheim was before that. Kamigawa before that. I think it was after. I think it was after the Cornflex. So I think I went too far down. No, it's right here. In this battlefield, search your library, graveyard, and or collection outside the game for an instant sorcery card you own. Reveal it, put it into your hand. If you search your library, then shuffle. So you can pretty much go find anything. Any instant sorcery that's not in exile. So if you flashed it back, you can't use it. If I don't think there's really anywhere else it could be that you can. Like if it's in your hand, of course you're not gonna go search your hand for a spell that's already in your hand. But yeah, the planeswalkers are, or not planeswalkers, the predators are kind of interesting. I'm not gonna talk about Jinkataxis. He's so far, by far, the strongest one we've seen. He is dumb, so I'm not gonna like go into theory crafting for him. I will explain the card though for those who aren't in the know. I just gotta go find him again. He was like one of the first cards that we got revealed to us, and it's crazy. He's real stupid. So he's 3/2 blue mana for a legendary creature Phyrexian Praetor. He's a 5/5. He has Wart 2. So first off, this thing you want to get off the board protects itself. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell with mana value 3 or greater, you draw a card. Non-creature spell. So enchantment, sorcery, instant, artifact, battle, because that's not a creature spell. You just get to draw a card. He gives himself that bonus and stuff. It is a really game-winning mechanic. And then you can pay 3 and a blue to pretty much exile him and flip him over. He turns into a saga. You can only do this if you have 7 or more cards in hand, but like with his ability, he's in blue. He's in blue. It's kind of easy to get 7 cards in your hand. It's not that hard. But when he flips over, he turns into a saga called the Great Synthesis. So it's got 3 chapters. Every turn after you draw, you add a lore counter, so it goes to the next chapter. You can also proliferate these because they are counters on a permanent or a player you control. So the first chapter is you draw cards equal to the number of cards in your hand, and as long as it's on the Great Synthesis, you have no maximum hand size. So for as long as you have this saga out on the battlefield, you don't have a maximum hand size. You're probably also going to be running Wizard class. You don't have so you don't have a maximum hand size. Reliquary Tower. There's the Decanter of Endless Water. That's a 3-drop mana rock that taps. You have no maximum hand size. Taps for any color. It'll give you a draw in this deck, so it synergizes surprisingly well. And I think Thought Vessel's the other one that doesn't give you a maximum hand size. So there's a lot of things that don't give you a max hand size that you can just run in the deck that you kind of want to run in the deck anyways. So chapter 2 is, it says return all non-Phyrexian creatures to their owner's hands. So Phyrexians have really been making a big jump up in presence these past few sets, pretty much ever since Dominaria United. They've been pumping out more Phyrexians. So for some more modern decks, it might not affect you as much, but like for instance, I have an attack trigger deck. Attack Harmonicon is what people call it. It's Ishin 2 Heavens is 1. He just says if a creature attacking causes one of your permanents to trigger, triggers an additional time. Nothing in that deck is a Phyrexian permanent or Phyrexian creature, so they all would get bounced to my hand. I'd have to start over. It hurt me. Pretty much a board wipe for people who aren't playing Jinkataxis' game. And then if you get him a lower counter 3, it's really devastating. Yeah, they really did just get the best new commander. The third chapter is really where it gets stupid. Like, all the other chapters, Blue can already kind of do that to some extent, and we've learned how to play around that. Chapter 3, if you get this off, you just kind of win the game. And it says you may cast any number of spells from your hand without paying the mana cost. Exile the Great Synthesis, then return it to the battlefield, front face up. So you turn it back into Jin-Gitaxias. The thing about that is, you definitely have more than 7 cards in your hand. You can flip Jin-Gitaxias over again. Blue has, I think, the most amount of proliferate. If not the most, the second most, because it's like a tie between blue and green. They have the most proliferate in the game. So, if you're running blue, and you're casting all the spells in your hand, first off, you've got extra turn spells if you're playing this deck. Like, you are power building this deck to hell. You're running big spells that you're going to cast for free, you're running small spells that you can cast for free for value. You are doing the most with this deck. You get off that third chapter, you win the game. Most people are probably going to scoop after that. They're going to be like, nope. Most people aren't even going to play against you if you pull out this commander. Unless you let people see your entire deck, and you don't have any extra turn spells, you don't have a lab man, you don't have a Colossus Oracle, you don't have any ways to win the game. You're not running mills, so like, if you're not doing any of that, how are you winning with this deck? So it's just kind of, that's what Jin-Gitaxias does. Let's go ahead. I think we'll just go over all the Praetors, why not? But that's what Jin-Gitaxias does. Honestly, the most busted of them. Really strong. Elesh Norn, who's the leader of this whole invasion force, she's not too strong. She's pretty strong. Don't get me wrong, she's pretty strong. But she's not, like, horrible. Oh, and don't even forget about the fact that you could run Urza in New Jin-Gitaxias. Like, or you could run Jin-Gitaxias and Urza. It's so dumb. You could just do it. It works. You can just do it. But Elesh Norn, she's 2 and 2 white for a legendary creature, Phyrexian Praetor. They're all gonna be legendary creatures, Phyrexian Praetors. So they all can be your commander. She's a 3/5 with vigilance. And whenever a source an opponent controls deals damage to you or permanent you control, that source's controller loses 2 life unless they pay 1 mana. So, any burn strategies, they get stopped. Attack, you pretty much gotta pay an extra 1, otherwise you also get burned. It works. It has its place, but it's definitely not the strongest thing out there. Like, there's ways around it. Plus, she doesn't protect herself, so you can just shoot her. You just delete her from the game. Like, remove her from the table, she's fine. But I think she is the cheapest to go ahead and transform into the saga. She's 2 and a white, and you sacrifice 3 other creatures. White's great at making tokens, and doesn't say sacrifice 3 non-token creatures. So it's just 2 and a white, sack 3 tokens, she flips over pretty much. Or if you don't have the tokens, you can sack 3 actual creatures. So, front side, already not as strong as Jin-Gitaxias. He has Wart 2, so it's hard to target him. He draws cards when you cast non-creature spells, 3 mana or greater. But he does cost a little bit more to, 1, get on the battlefield and then flip over, but it's kind of worth it. 8 mana is not too much. And then once Elesh Norn's on the other side, when she's in her saga, she has Incubate 5 times, and then transform all Incubator tokens to control. So Incubate, it's a new mechanic specific to this set. What it says is you make an artifact and put that many +1/+1 counters on it, and then you can pay 2 to transform that artifact into a Phyrexian artifact creature. That's a 0/0, but it has that many +1/+1 counters on it. So you incubate 2 5 times to make 5 of those artifacts. They all have 2 +1/+1 counters. And then for every incubate artifact you have on board, she goes ahead and transforms them for free. I mean, I guess it's not really for free. It's 7 mana, 3 of it has to be white, but still pretty much free. So you can get, at the bare minimum, you get 10 power on board. So 10 power on board. They're creatures. They're artifact creatures. So they are the most susceptible to board wipes, I'd say, because she doesn't even use haste, and it's mono white. So there's not many ways to give haste in that color, anyways. Chapter 2. Creatures you control get +1/+1 and double strike until end of turn. So now you're assuming you haven't played any other creatures and you already have them on board. Let's say you sacrifice all your creatures to transform Elish Norn. Get her into the stock. And you only have those 5 incubator tokens. Well, now they are 3/3s with double strike. So you got 30 damage on board. Chapter 2. That's pretty good. They don't have trample. There's ways in this color to give them a lifelink pretty easy. Enchantments. But if you got more creatures on board, it's just more power. It's more damage. The thing is, you're probably going to do the first one, and then somebody's going to board wipe you. And that's just kind of how it's usually going to go in that case. You're running white, so you have ways to protect your board. You probably have the easiest ways to protect your board. You're still probably going to lose it. Because you got 3 other players who can see what's about to happen and stop it. And then chapter number 3, it's a board wipe. Destroy all other permanents except for artifacts, lands, and Phyrexians. So first off, it says destroy, not exile. So they just go to the graveyard. Recursion decks aren't hurt much by this. Artifacts aren't hurt at all. I have a new enchantment deck. It's not hurt that much by it. It doesn't touch your lands, which, fair. People in Commander, they hate land destruction. If you do it, you're kind of seen as the bad guy, the most vile player, the most horrific person you could possibly be if you're on land destruction in Commander. That's how they view you. Of course, after she does the whole wipe, she flips over to the other side. She doesn't destroy herself because she says all other permanents. So that's how she protects herself from getting board wiped in her own board wipe. And that's really all she does. Board wipes aren't really too hurt. Or they're not, like, too bad. Again, you're in white, so you can really just give yourself indestructible. Anyways, if you're building this deck, you're running an artifact Phyrexian deck, so your deck is fine. One of the new precons, it's Phyrexians and artifacts, so they're fine, they're not touched. There's so many artifact decks got released in these past 3 sets. That chapter 3 is not the best. Chapter 2, pretty strong. You could probably take out a player on the board if they don't manage to get rid of your stuff by chapter 2. Otherwise, chapter 3 happens and everybody's fine. You're not winning the game off chapter 2. You're really not winning the game off chapter 2. You're definitely not winning the game off chapter 3. And you're not winning the game off chapter 1. So it's really like you can take out a player chapter 2. Maybe. If everybody's got token blockers, because you can chump block all this. Or if everybody just has life total, somebody's running a life gain deck that can probably tank it. If somebody's running an Elish Norn deck and they have her on the front side, then it's like, okay, well now your stuff is gonna burn you too, so you're not gonna attack me, because what kind of mana do you actually have for this? Not for the double strike. You're at least hitting yourself for 15. So it is not the best. But let me go ahead and get a game going. Let's try Middle of the Road. I'm just gonna do it on medium. Just so that there's something going on in the background. I'm gonna get this going. Oh yeah, I just changed my hero to Gwendolyn. So I have 650 gold. I've really been liking the Glue Monkey, the Glue Gunner. Put it here. And this guy, the Commando. They work really well together. I'm gonna go ahead and just click that. This is gonna go on for a little while. It's not gonna be too bad. Let's see. So that was Elish Norn. Elish Norn, not too strong. not the worst. Then I think the next one they released after Elish Norn, was it Shieldred or was it Vorinclex? I think it was Vorinclex. I think Shieldred was the one we got. Let's see. And if you guys want to know the site I'm using to check this, I'll be sending a link in the chat here soon. It was Vorinclex, yeah. Vorinclex is the next one. Vorinclex isn't too scary either. He can kind of do some things, he kind of can't do some things. He's not the scariest. Okay. So I have to go to here, send this message. Alright, so I just sent the link to the site that I'm using for this. Let's see, I don't have much money. I can upgrade. I don't want bigger gloves, I want the blue soak. Blue soak is gonna be nice. But I'm gonna go ahead and get you to help out over here. So Vorinclex. And I might not win because I'm not really paying attention to this. Vorinclex, he's 3, 2 green for a legendary creature Phyrexian Praetor. He's a 6/6 with Trample and Reach. When he enters the battlefield, you can go find your search your library for 2 forests, put them into your hand, not on a battlefield, but in your hand, reveal them, then shuffle. So I understand why he puts them into your hand and not into your, on your hand and not your battlefield. Because if you put them in your battlefield, he'd be playing his own commander attacks, and that's the whole reason why one of the commander cards got banned a while ago. So they didn't want that. They didn't want him to be too strong. They, I think, might have went a little too lenient on him. Or, like, he could have gotten 2 forests, put 1 into your hand, I guess, 1 on the battlefield tapped, and people would have been fine with that. It wouldn't have been too strong. And then he cost 6 and 2 green to transform. Now, I know the meme says, oh, but it's green, you got ramp, yada yada, you're definitely getting this off. It's still a lot of mana. It's probably gonna be your whole turn. Like, even if it's the turn after you do it, because first off, just because you're in green doesn't mean that in the length of a realistic game are you going to have 5, 8, 13 mana on turn whenever you play this. Let's say turn 6. You might have 13 mana. You're probably not going to. So he already costs a lot to transform. And then when he goes over to the saga, he has the first chapter. You mill 10 cards, then you put up to 2 creature cards from among the milled cards onto the battlefield. Am I wrong in saying I don't think it would have been too strong if he put all creatures milled this way onto the battlefield? You're spending 13 mana for this. And for 13 mana in green, you can get a lot more than 2 creatures and mill 10. And that's just kind of where I'm at for this guy. Then, Chapter 2. You distribute 7 +1/+1 counters among any number of target creatures you control. So you don't give each creature 7 +1/+1 counters. You have 7 +1/+1 counters. You can say, alright, I'm going to put 1 here, 1 here, 1 here, 1 here, 1 here. Or 2 here, 2 here, and 3 here. Okay, yes, you could get a Crater Hoof, but also you could just Green Sun Zenith for Crater Hoof. There's the new green spell where you can actually look at the top 12 cards and put creatures onto the battlefield. It's like Green Sun's Twilight, I think. Well, yeah, no, like if I were to build the deck, those would be the cards I'd be looking to put in there. Is like big creature tribal. That's also just kind of generic green. these are just cards you can really put into any other green commander just about, and you might get them out faster, or you'll just you'll benefit a lot off of this because he doesn't really want a bunch of small creatures on board. Like you can do it with that. He wants big creatures or big creatures that make small creatures. So Craterhoof would be, if you manage to hit that, one of the 99 other cards in your deck. Great. What is the mana value of Craterhoof Behemoth actually? Because if you're hoping to hit a Craterhoof off of this, would you just play him instead? Craterhoof Behemoth is 5 and 3 green, so he's an 8-drop. He has haste, and when it enters the battlefield, creatures you control gain trample and +X/+X until end of turn, where X is the number of creatures you control. So, for the 5 mana, and then the 8 mana you're spending to transform Vorinclex, you could play a Avenger of Zendikar, and then a Craterhoof. So now your Avenger of Zendikar and your and your plant tokens can attack, and the Craterhoof comes with haste. He doesn't give them haste; he just gives them trample and +X/+X for X creatures. So it's just, you kind of just run a typical. It'd probably just be best if you ran your own like typical just green creature strategy. Yeah, that's all it is. Green can give haste. I know green can give haste. That's not really the issue. It's the issue that for 13 mana, I could win the game. For 13 mana with Vorinclex, what if you get Big Whiff? It's possible to get a Big Whiff. Like, let's say you haven't gotten any Llanowar Elves on Battlefield yet, so you end up having to choose one of those. And you have to choose between, like, another small creature like Sakura Tribe Elder. Hopefully, you already got these in the graveyard from, like, earlier. And you use Sakura to ramp yourself, and you still have your Llanowar Elves, but sometimes it happens like that. You get them out, and you get a Big Whiff. So, he's okay. What I've been seeing is that you're probably gonna want to actually get like a Stuffy Doll off of this and something, because Chapter 3 says until end of turn, creatures you control gain for 1 mana. This creature fights another creature you don't control, or a target creature you don't control, so it can't fight someone with Hexproof. Then you exile it, return it to the battlefield, face up, and then he gets you to forests because he enters the battlefield again. So that one can do stuff. That one's pretty strong. I need to get stickier glue. So he's not weak. It's just there's probably more mana efficient ways to get the effect that you want. That's all I'm saying. So that's the Jinkatax. That's the Vorinclex, not Jinkataxis. Jinkataxis is stupid. Vorinclex is pretty balanced. Shieldred, I think, is probably the second strongest of these Praetors. She's pretty stupid, and there's plenty of ways to easily make her even dumber if you really wanted to. Alright, I gotta get this thing to Full Metal Jacket soon. And then him, I can give him quick shots. So, the new Shieldred. Let's see. Let's see. She has 3 and 2 black. So, probably, assuming all ramp is even, you get her out we're not gonna assume the same ramp is even. You get her out the same turn as Taxis. And what she says is when she enters the battlefield, each opponent has to sacrifice a non-token creature or planeswalker. So you can't just say, oh, I'm just gonna sack this garbage token. No, it has to be something of value. And then she has she also has Menace. So it is 3, 2 black, legendary creature, Phyrexian Praetor, 4/5 with Menace. ETB, each opponent, not you, just each opponent sacks a creature or a planeswalker, and it can't be a token. And then 4 and a black, you can exile her, transform her, and you can only activate it. Oh, by the way, all of these can only be activated at sorcery speeds. But for her, she can only activate it if an opponent has 8 or more cards in their graveyard. So you want to be running a mill strategy for the most part, or just being really oppressive and discard, kill everybody's creatures as they're coming in, stuff like that. You could do that. It's pretty oppressive, and it kind of hurts. But that's just something you could do. And I guess I'll get Gwendolyn after a few rounds now. Maybe I'll need the Wizard Monkey. Yeah, I might need the Wizard Monkey. So then, when she's in her Saga form, Chapter 1 is for each opponent, you get to destroy target creature or planeswalker that player controls. So already, in the first two chapters, or you play her, everybody loses something of value. Then, you turn her over, everybody loses something of value. And somebody's graveyard already has, whatchamacallit? Yeah, I'll put you here. I want you to get the Fireball. I realized you're actually really good with the Fireball. So she enters, everybody loses something of importance. And then she does her thing, you flip her over, everybody loses something of importance. Chapter 2, each opponent discards 3 cards and mills 3 cards. So they lose 3 cards from their hand, and they lose 3 cards from their deck. And then Chapter 3 is pretty much just Rise of the Dark Realms. You get all creatures from all graveyards, and you put them on the battlefield under your control. She doesn't give them haste, but she returns all creatures in all graveyards to the battlefield. First she exiles, then returns to the battlefield. So your opponents have to sack another creature, and then she gets all the creatures in all graveyards to the battlefield. So there's plenty of ways to make this really stupid. You can just do, oh hey, everybody mill. Everybody's gonna mill cards. Everybody's gonna discard their cards. You can have people tutor cards to the graveyard. You can be a force that everybody does not want to reckon with. Let me see, which one gives you the... Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. So, again, mono black, not a lot of haste. You have some colorless options, so there are ways to get haste. There's just not a lot of haste. Green has more haste than mono black. Green, I think, has the second most amount of ways to get haste. And so those are what the Praetors do. That's pretty much just that's probably what the game plan looks like for them. We still don't have Urabrask. We're waiting for him. When we find out what Urabrask does, he could be a real pain. He could end up being a real force to be reckoned with. I want this to hit all of y'all. Or he could be the weakest Praetor, like he kind of always has been. But I hope they do the boy right. I hope they give him something amazing. Because that'd be really great for him, honestly. It'd be real cool. The legendary combo creatures I want to talk about today. It would be dope if he was the strongest one. And I would actually like it if Boring Collect or if Urabrask ends up being, yeah, I am that guy. I am the Phyrexian you wanna play. Uh, what he's probably gonna do is he's probably gonna give your creatures haste or some form of impulse draw. I don't want that. I don't want to be Dreneth's Magistrate. Dreneth Magistrate says you can't cast spells from anywhere other than your hand. So, I don't think I'd want that. I want bigger radius. I do eventually want the jungle drums. And I think it's the grow bigger. Yeah, the radar scanner. Yeah, I want the grow bigger. I think he's gonna do something about having cards in exile and burning with the number of cards you have in exile, something like that. That would be my prediction that I hope he has. Let's see. But the legendary combo I would like to talk about is a different way of running Hidetsugu and Kairi. Because I know the way most people are probably going to run it is it's going to be, oh hey, I revealed a extra turn spell off the top of my library, I'm just going to go again. So Hidetsugu and Kairi, they are two blue and a black for a legendary creature, Ogre Demon Dragon. It's a 5/4, it has flying. And when Hidetsugu and Kairi enters the battlefield, draw 3 cards and put the top 2 cards of your hand on the top of your library in order. So ETB, you get the Brainstorm. And then they have when Hidetsugu and Kairi dies, exile the top card of your library. Target opponent loses life equal to its mana value. If it's an instant or sorcery card, you may cast it without paying its mana cost. So you cheat out big instants and sorceries off the top of your library after you put them there. You do their ETB skill. They're pretty great. They're pretty strong. So the way I was thinking about running it, if I were to build this deck, I'm probably not going to, but I just do big mana life drain. That would be the way I do it. Is I'd say, hey, we are going to get my life down low, or not life drain, life swap. We're gonna get my life down low, and we're gonna swap life totals. Or I'm gonna swap your 2 life totals because I got you guys low, and then I'm going to drain you guys, put you down low. So, like for creatures that you'd want to run, they're kind of just doubles. They do really well in this kind of a deck. They just pretty much say, hey, I'm gonna drain your life, or not the opponent's life, but I'm gonna drain the controller's life for things. Alright, gotta build that. Just got a message from a friend. He says he's gonna build Cascade Landfall. So he's gonna try to get landfall triggers off of cascading instead of actual cascade. Let's see. So like one of the cards you can throw in there, Asmodeus the Archfiend. He's like a 20-cent card. He's not expensive. He has Binding Contract. If you would draw a card, exile it instead. Face down. And then you can pay 3 black mana, draw 7 cards, so you exile them. He is 4/2 black, legendary creature, double god, 6/6. So even if you don't get him on the battlefield and you reveal him off the top of the library, you're dealing 6 damage to an opponent. Just 6 damage, not even 6 damage, they lose 6 life. So things that prevent damage don't work. Which is pretty strong. Let's see, let's give you the shrapnel shot. I'm trying to get you the Bloom Dissolver. You can get Stronger Glue, so I can eventually get you to stop the Moab. And then, for 1 black, Asmodeus the Archfiend says you can return all cards exiled with Asmodeus the Archfiend to their owner's hand, and you lose that much life. So, for 4 black mana, you pretty much draw 7 cards, lose 7 life. So now you're getting your life total low. And the reason why we want to get our life total low is because we're running some ways to swap our opponent's life with our own. Get them low enough that we can just drain them out. There's Blitzwing Cruel Tormentor. He's 5 in a black for a legendary artifact creature robot. More than meets the eye for 3 in a black. But when you're using the skill of Hidatsugu Kairi, if you reveal this one off the top, you use that top line mana value. So the 5 in a black, so 6 damage. He says, at the beginning of your end step, target opponent loses life equal to the amount of life that player lost this turn. If no life was lost this way, convert Blitzwing. On the backside, it says living metal as long as it's your turn. It's a vehicle. The vehicle is also a creature. It's a legendary artifact vehicle. Beginning of combat on your turn, choose flying or indestructible at random. Blitzwing gains that ability in a turn, and then when he deals combat damage to a player, convert it so you flip him back over. We really want this front side. The way this deck runs, you shouldn't really ever be converting him. It should always be on this side because the opponent should be losing life every turn. Just because of your skill, Hidatsugu and Kairi dying, getting some spell off the top of your library, boom. An opponent lost life, Blitzwing triggers. He's pretty much in here just to like double up on life loss triggers. If your opponents are losing life during your turn, you can make them lose double life. That's why he's in here. That's what you really want from him. Defiler Flesh. Most of these cards are gonna be mono black, just because there are ways you can actually drain your life. But the Defiler Flesh is 2 and 2 black creature for Phyrexian Horror. Menace. As initial cost to cast a black permanent spells, you may also pay 2 life. Those spells cost black less to cast if you pay life this way. So you can only pay 2 life per spell and reduce it by 1 black per spell. You need that, and then you get your crossbow. Oh hey, sharpshooter, fast crit shots, do a lot more damage. Converts up to 10 nearby dot monkeys, including yourself in 15 seconds. And her spike ball. Okay, that's fine. We'll get to the sharpshooter. We should have ways of dealing with the metal ones because of the wizard here. So pretty much, he makes sure black spells or spells with black in them have 2 life instead of a black pip. And then whenever you cast a black permanent spell, target creature you control gets +1/+1 engages in the skill in turn. We're not really worried about that skill. We're more so worried about making our spells a little cheaper to cast. Dribnod, Carnage Dominus. He's 3 and 2 black. If a creature dying causes the triggered ability of a permanent trigger, that ability triggers an additional time. Double up the Hidatsugu and Kairi triggers. So they already enter. They do their brainstorm thing. You put the next 2 cards you want to cast or deal damage with on the top of your library, and then they die, and you get to cast them because Dribnod Dominus. And just, there's Lorcan, Warlock Collector, a legendary creature, devil, 5/2 black, flying. Whenever a creature card is put anywhere into an opponent's graveyard from anywhere, you may pay life equal to a spin value. If you do, put it on the battlefield under your control. It's a Warlock in addition to its other types. Warlock you control would die, exile it instead. So more, you're getting your life total low, you're paying life for things, you're trying to pretty much get your life total as low as possible so that you can swap life totals and make people hurt. Of course, for one of those cards that drain people's life totals, there's Magus Mirror, 4 and 2 black. Tap them, sacrifice Magus Mirror, exchange life totals with target opponent, activate only during your upkeep. So you gotta get it around to your your next turn, pretty much. But he just kind of says, yeah, people get to burn now. How does that sound? People like that. A lot of people like that burn strategy. And it's not really even burn just because they lose life. There's Obsessive Stitcher, 1 blue black creature, human wizard, has tap, draw a card, then discard a card. So it just provides you some card selection. And then you can pay 2 and blue and black, tap it, sack it, and you can return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. So it's got some recursion for Kairi and Hidetsugu. So they come to the battlefield, they die. You can use this to bring them back. There's a bunch of recursion spells that you can run. Singir, the Dark Baron, 4/2 black for legendary creature, Vampire Noble, flying. When another creature dies, put 2+1/+1 counters on Singir, the Dark Baron. Kind of a throwback to his original card where he got +2/+2 counters instead of 2+1/+1. I think it's one of the only cards to do that. And then he says whenever another player loses the game, you gain life equal to that player's life total as the turn begins. So, pretty much, hey, the life you gained, or because you drain an opponent's life total, you swap their life total, and they had, you're like, let's say 10 health, and then you drain them for another 10 during the turn. You gain pretty much your life total, but again. Unlock secrets of monkey knowledge. Each knowledge provides permanent benefits to your monkeys. Okay. Cool. Interesting. Jungle drums, primary training. I think you need to get the Moab glue. I want you to have the balloon liquefier. Deadly precision is gonna be great, so I guess I'll save up those. I guess I'll buff you. I don't need to buff you up. Most of our attacks is like in the front and also technically the back, so we don't worry about the monkeys. They're gonna do great. So yeah, Singir, great. Also, has partner, but you're not running in the command zone, so you don't really need to worry about the partner mechanic. Throw Parasite, Extort. You can run Extort in decks that aren't Orzhov, because since it's part of the reminder text, it's black or white. It's part of the reminder text. It's not actually part of the card. And since it's only the reminder text... Oh, did not mean to do that. Ooh. Okay, yeah. Let's see. You need 5,000, okay. And then you can also tap it, pay 2 life, remove a counter from target non-land permanent. Sometimes that matters, sometimes it doesn't. You're not really worried about that part in this deck. You're really just worried about the export cost, the export ability, so that you can get some benefits to casting spells. Since you're casting the spell off the top of your library, you can tap on an extra black to just drain your opponents for 3 life, and then drain each opponent for 1 life, then gain a life, gain 3. Because Extort says whenever you cast a spell, you may pay black or white. If you do, each opponent loses 1 life, and you gain that much life. Again, it's part of the reminder text. It's not actually on the card, so you don't have to worry about it being in this deck that doesn't have any white. You don't need white, you just need black or white. Varagos, the Bloodsky Sire. He just... top deck manipulation. He lets you put cards on the top of your library after you attack with him. Because he is a 2 and a black legendary creature, demon rogue. Death touch, so people don't really want to block him. He's only a 2/3. But the reason why people would be willing to lose a creature for this is because he has Boast, which, for 1 and a black, target player searches their library for a card, then shuffles their library and puts that card on top of it. Yeah. So it's just some top deck manipulation for not too expensive. Right now he's only about $5. He helps provide some of that. He helps provide some of the benefits that you really need. Viscera Seer. Just sacrifice a creature to scry 1, so you can instant speed sack Kairi and Hidetsugu on somebody else's turn if you want to do it on their turn. Vohar, Vodalian Desecrator. It is just blue-black, legendary creature, Phyrexian Merfolk Wizard, 1/2. Tap it, draw a card, then discard a card. If you discard instant sorcery this card this way, each opponent lose 1 life, you gain 1 life. Then you can pay 2, then sacrifice Voldar, and to cast target instant or sorcery card from your graveyard this turn, if it would be put into your graveyard, exile it instead, activate only the sorcery. So it gives 1 spell in your graveyard, flashback. Ashnod's Altars is good. Free sack, get 2 mana. That's all it does. 3-drop artifact, sacrifice creature, add 2 colorless mana to your mana pool. Soul Conduit. 6-drop artifacts, pay 6 and tap it. 2 target players exchange life totals. So it doesn't have to be you and someone else. If somebody starts doing their life gain shenanigans, you can swap them with the lowest person's life total or life total at the table. Dismember. It's 1 and 2 Phyrexian black, so you can pay 2 black, or you can pay 2 life for each instead. Target creature is -5/-5 until end of turn is an instant. Infernal Grasp, another way you lower your life total. Destroy target creature, you lose 2 life. And then just recursion spells for Hidetsugu and Kairi, because you can get them off the top. So recursion spells like Beacon of Unrest. Put target artifact or creature card from a graveyard onto the battlefield under your control. Then you shuffle it back into your library, so you can eventually get another cast of this. There's another one, I think it's Ever After. Yeah, return up to 2 target creature cards from your graveyard to the battlefield for 4 and 2 black. This matters because of the damage trigger you get off of revealing it from the top. Each of those creatures is a black zombie addition to its other colors and types, and then put Ever After on the bottom of its owner's library. And then for those of you who don't know, Beacon of Unrest is 3 and 2 black. And that's the one where it's artifact or creature, battlefield, shuffling your library. So like cards like that for Hidetsugu and Kairi would probably be pretty strong, like the strongest things you'd probably put on there. Yeah. I spent most of my money on that. Okay. But I think a life swap deck would be really fun. Oh, there's also Profane Transfusion. That just swaps your life total with somebody else's, I think. It's like a 9-drop sorcery. Yeah, Profane Transfusion, 6, 3 black, 2 target players exchange life totals. You create an excess colorless color artifact creature token where X is the difference between those players' life totals. So if you manage to get yourself down low to like 10, even 5 in some cases, if you're running things like what's it called? What's the artifact called? The legendary artifacts. It was Bolas' Citadel. Bolas' Citadel. So you're casting things off the top of your library. You're getting your life total low because a lot of these are high life total. They're high mana value cards. I would recommend putting some life gain in here so you don't just like kill yourself doing all this stuff. The goal is to kill your opponents, win the game, drain them out. So I'm gonna put a Druid over here. And I want you to have Heart Thorns, Heart Thunder, Druid of Storm, and then Blood Swarm. Yeah. Repay in kind. 5, 2 black. Each player's life total becomes the lowest life total among all players. And that could just win you the game if you've got Blitzwing out, or other cards that have effects like that, like what's it called? Warlock class. It's a enchantment class card. You can get it down for 1 black. Beginning of your end step, for creature died this turn, you just won't lose 1 life. That's level 1. You can gain levels only at sorcery abilities. So you can pay 1 and a black to get it to level 2. Look at the top 3 cards of your library. 1 of them into your hand, the rest into your graveyard. So it's card advantage and card selection. And then for 6 and a black, you can get it to level 3. Beginning of your end step, each opponent loses life equal to life they lost this turn. And then there's Wound Reflection. That's at the beginning of each end step. And I think it's 6 and a black for Wound Reflection. It's an enchantment. Yeah, it's 5 and a black for an enchantment. Beginning of each end step, each opponent loses life equal to life they lost this turn. So now, if your opponents are scared to lose life on their turns, they're scared to lose life on other people's turns. They're scared to lose. They're especially scared to lose life on your turn. They're expecting to lose life on your turn. There we go. But yeah, so Hidetsugu and Kairi life swap tribal. I think it'd be a really interesting way to build the deck. You can agree with me, or you don't have to agree with me. Let's see. Okay, let's go ahead and get you out now. You can't see anything over here. Okay. We're gonna put you over here. There you go. And that's pretty much all. Oh yeah, one of the completed legendary creatures. That's what I want to talk about. So there's a bunch of completed creatures that start off on their normal side, and then you can pay some mana and a Phyrexian to flip them over, transform them. And so one of the ones I wanted to talk about was Ayara for not First Block Wayne. What's her actual card name? Hidetsugu and Kairi came out before them. It's 1 and 2 black for a elf noble legendary creature, Ayara, Widow of the Realm. And she is a 3/3 for 3 mana. You can tap her, sacrifice another creature or artifact. Ayara, Widow of the Realm, deals X damage per opponent or battle, and you gain X life where X is the sacrifice permanent's mana value. So you can sacrifice an artifact or a creature, deal damage to a player or a battle, and you gain life. Because she does deal the damage. If you were to throw life gain on her, you get double the life. So that's what makes her pretty strong. I'm going to put another one of you guys over here. And then Night Vision and Fast Firing. Oh, nice. Wait, you have enough experience for this? No, you don't. Okay. Cool. So she's already doing a sort of aristocrat plan. Sacrifice your creatures or artifacts, get benefit out of it. And then you can pay 5 or Phyrexian red. So this is a Rakdos card, so you can run black and red in that. To transform Ayara, and only activate this as a sorcery. She becomes Ayara, Furnace Queen. Legendary creature, Phyrexian Elf Noble, 4/4. And she has, at the beginning of combat on your turn, return up to 1 target artifact or creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. It gains haste. Exile it at the beginning of the next step. So you can recur. You can recur a creature during combat at the beginning of your combat every turn. So if you were focused on this side, you can run multiple combats to get multiple creatures back. She's already pretty stupid with Port Razor or Bloodthirster, because those are cards that give you additional combats, and if you can but they can't attack the same player twice in the same turn unless you sacrifice them and bring them back. So if you run sack outlets, you can each combat bring them back, reset them, attack the same player until they're dead, reset them, attack the same player until they're dead. It's really easy, infinite combo, and those cards are relatively cheap. At least the last time I saw them. Not really Bloodthirster, because that came in a the Warhammer 40k deck, so it's really exclusive. They're probably not gonna reprint this card, so good luck getting it. It's a $10 card. Flying Trample. When it deals combat damage to a player, untap it after this combat phase with an additional combat phase. You can't attack the player, it's already attacked this turn. Flying 6/6 Demon. And then Port Razor. does a similar thing. I don't think he has trample. Yeah, he doesn't have trample. He just has, when it deals combat damage to a player, untap each creature you control. After this combat phase, there's an additional combat phase. Can't attack the player that's already attacked this turn. You can reset that if you sacrifice them and bring them back to the battlefield again. So, if you want to know the Easy Infinite, boom, there's the Easy Infinite. If you want to know something else, if you want to do something else with it, let's put you here. What I would do if I were to build this, I'd probably run different Nehebs. Yeah, I have the Eternal NTG. There's a bunch of different Nehebs, and pretty much all of them give you mana post combat after you would life some opponents have lost the turn. So Neheb, Dreadhold Champion, doesn't have that effect. He kind of, but not really. He has Trample, and when it deals combat damage to a player or Planeswalker, discard a number of cards. You draw that many cards and add that much red mana. So in the turn, you don't lose this mana steps and phases in. So you get the mana during combat, which normally it would drain from your mana pool when you go to your second main phase. But since he says you don't lose that mana between steps and phases for the turn, you get to keep it throughout your main phase too. There's Neheb the Eternal. He's got Afflict 3. Beginning of your post-combat main phase, you add a red mana for each 1 life your opponents have lost this turn. Then there's Neheb the Worthy. He's kind of Minotaur tribal. But the main thing he has, he's got First Strike, and when it deals combat damage to a player, each player discards a card. So everybody discards a card, including you, so you can put a piece you want to get onto the battlefield next turn into your graveyard. It's a way of discard synergies. And that's kind of what you want to do. You want to fill up your own graveyard with great options. You want to run that value engine. If you're running the backside, at least. If you're running the backside, you want to fill your graveyard with great options. Get them onto the battlefield during combat. Get the use out of them. Get their good ETB trigger. Get some damage triggers if you can. If you want to run the front side, or focus on the front side mainly, you'd want to run things with death triggers. I don't remember the name of the artifact, but there's an artifact that's a 2-drop. When it enters the battlefield or gets put into the graveyard from the battlefield, you draw a card. You can sacrifice that, gain 2 life, make somebody lose 2 life, and draw a card. It's not the worst. It's pretty good. Spine of Ishtar is a great option just because you can. It's a 7-drop artifact that says when it enters the battlefield, destroy target permanent. And if it would be put into the graveyard from the battlefield, return it to its owner's hand instead. So, you can. Yep. And we're just gonna go ahead and enter the free play. Yep. So pretty much, you sacrifice Spine of Ishtar, deal 7 damage, gain 7 life, and put it back in your hand and cast it next turn. If you've got Neheb the Eternal on board with that, then boom, you get that 7 mana again, play it that next turn, and then you can end up sacrificing it again later. You can run untapped synergies, so you can sacrifice multiple things in a turn. Yara is pretty easy to build. It's just general Rakdos Aristocrat good stuff. And someone just said Rona is mean, so I'm gonna go ahead and check the site to see if there's any new spoilers. Let's see. Oh, yeah, oh god, there's more. Okay, so the last one I saw was this Nahiri's Warcraft. So now there is this card that's in Italian that I can't read, but it does have translations. It is 1 in a blue, and it has 3 in a Phyrexian white. I guess you just transform it after only the sorcery. And then on the other side, it is a 3/3 Phyrexian Cavalier, I'm guessing. That might mean knight. It probably means Cavalier. It probably means knight. Whenever it becomes blocked by a creature, that creature gets -1/-1 till the turn. Like the normal creatures that are like transforming like that, they're okay. Um, they're not like stupid or anything. They're not busted. There's an invasion of Gobakan. When it enters the battlefield, look at target opponent's hand. You may exile a non-land card from it, and as long as that card remains exiled, its owner may play it and spend 2 more mana to cast it. It's 1 and a white, battle, siege. So since they're giving these battle types like siege, I wonder if we're in the future gonna get different kinds of battle cards. So maybe ones that aren't siege that work differently. Maybe some might be like fortress or something like that. Who knows? If you do manage to kill it, it has 3 defense points, so pretty much 3 toughness. At the beginning of your end step, put a +1/+1 counter on each creature that attacked this turn. Okay. Mono white, interesting. You can sacrifice it to give creatures you control hexproof and indestructible until turn. Like I said, white has a lot of ways to protect their board. That's one of them. Wonderful. So it's board protection, and end of your turn, you get big value, pretty much. So it's great for that. Let's just get another one of these guys. Vision shrapnel. We're just gonna give you fast firing. No, did I finish upgrading you? Nope, you need your relentless glue. Forget about that. There's another one. Okay. I can't read this. It's also in Italian. Some of these are in Italian, but they do post translations also on the page. Click on the card. Just 1 white, not 1 and a white, just a white mana for a 1/2, and then you can pay 4 for Phyrexian green to transform it. Activate only as a sorcery, and it gets trample as a 4/3. That's it. That's all. So it's 5 mana for a 4/3 trampler. I guess, okay. Interesting enough. Then there's another Italian card. It's Agent of Eternity, I'm guessing. I don't know what kind of creature it is, but it has Death Touch, 4 and a blue, transform it, activate only as a sorcery. Then on the other side, when it deals combat damage to a player or battle, draw a card. 1 and a black, and then you gotta pay 4 and 2 life to transform it. It's okay. I don't really have much to say about it. These cards are just kind of, they just kind of exist, honestly. But I am glad to see we're finally getting stuff from Amonkhet, because they said that Amonkhet got invaded, but they haven't showed us anything from Amonkhet till like now. So that's fun. That's cool. So we got Kroxa and Kunoros. Okay, so that's from whatchamacallit, Theros, because Kunoros is the dog of Athreos, and Kroxa is a giant that follows. I think it's a Titan. Kroxa is a Titan, I believe. 3 Mardu. Okay, so this is already on my list of cards I'd probably actually build, because that's like my favorite color combination. I'm not at work streaming. I'm just streaming. Good to see you, your old BF. I'm just streaming. I'm off work, pretty much. I stream in my free time when I can. So Kroxa and Kronos, Vigilance, Menace, and Lifelink. When it enters the battlefield or attacks, exile 5 cards from your graveyard. When you do, return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. Okay, so it gives your creatures kind of the escape effect. Escape is usually you exile a card from your graveyard and you can cast it from the graveyard for the escape cost, and it comes to the battlefield. So that's interesting. I don't really care about escape, so Probably not gonna do that. There's Jeru and Hazaret. Okay, so Hazaret's still alive. That's cool. Legendary creature, human god. As long as you have one or fewer cards in hand, Jeru and Hazaret have vigilance and haste. Whenever they attack the top 6 cards of your library, exile a legendary creature card from among them. Put the rest of the bottom of your library in a random order. Until in a turn, you may cast the exiled card without paying its mana cost. So that's Boros Legendary Matters. Okay. That's kind of interesting. There's definitely ways to build around that. That's cool. There's Kenra, the Spell Spear. Oh, I'm talking about Magic the Gathering, yeah. We're in spoiler season for the next set coming out. It's March of the Machines. So we're just looking at cards that are coming out. So like the Kenra Spell Spear, it's 1 and a red for Trample Prowess. That's pretty good. 2/2. Pretty good return. Jackal Warrior. 3 and a Phyrexian blue, so you can pay 3 and 2 life to transform it as a sorcery. But Magic the Gathering is a card game that came out. I don't even know how long ago it came out. It's one of the bigger card games. Pretty much it's up there with Yu-Gi-Oh! It's just another card game. You can have any number of creatures on board instead of having only, I think, 5, with the exception of the... God, I don't remember what they're called in Yu-Gi-Oh! But there's the special extra deck cards that you can put on the front 2 middle zones. Max hand size is 7. You use mana instead of levels to cast creatures and stuff and spells. 3 Yu-Gi-Oh decks and maybe half a deck. I currently don't have any Yu-Gi-Oh decks. The only way I play Yu-Gi-Oh is through Master Duel. Yeah, that's what it's called. So yeah, I play Yu-Gi-Oh on Master Duel. Otherwise, I mainly play Magic the Gathering. And let's see. What do I want? I need another wizard. Yeah, I'll get another wizard. I'm gonna get that Dragon's Breath. And we want it to... Let's use Guided Magic this time. Yeah, I really just want the Dragon's Breath. Alright. That's fair. I don't have the funds to be playing real life Yu-Gi-Oh! So I play online. Mainly because my money goes pretty much only one card game at a time, and the card game for this one is Magic. Just because I've been playing Magic since I was in middle school. Yeah, middle school. It's one of the games I played the longest time, so it's like my main card game. But yeah, so for this Gataxian Spellstalker, Trample, Wart 2, and double Prowess. Okay. That's cool. That's really cool. Double Prowess? I haven't really seen that. Normally you'd need like another card to give your creatures a second instance of Prowess. In essence, it's not really it's not Prowess, but it's Prowess. It's just guys can see. So this thing can get really big, real easy actually. Hey Noom, thank you for rating. Hey guys, if you're new here, if you're stopping by, if you're enjoying the conversation, if you're enjoying just seeing balloons in the background or anything like that, please go ahead and give me a follow. It'll help me out a bunch. You can also I upload the VODs to my YouTube channel afterwards, usually within the week. Greetings, nice to see you. Thank you guys for stopping by. But yeah, if you guys are enjoying the content, if you're enjoying what I'm talking about or anything like that, please hit that follow button. Yeah, archival. I like putting it on YouTube because Twitch is new rules. They pretty much go away after, what is it, 7 days? They go after a week. So I make sure that within that week I upload it to my YouTube channel, just so that it's archived. You can access it if you want to view it later and things like that. And then while those are going crazy over there, we got a new Rona. She's surprisingly alive. Let's see. So Rona, Herald of Invasion, 1 and a blue. So oh yeah, if you're new, if you're just now stopping by, we're talking about the new Magic cards. So I have balloons playing in the background, just kind of have something going on in the background, so that we can see that something for paying attention. Yeah, chips. We're just gonna. Can I get another one of you? Yeah, I can put you here. Alright. Yeah. And then I'll make another one. Here, just up. Yeah. So we're doing that. I don't know which map this is. This is, game difficulty. It's the first page of maps. I recently just started playing. I think this is. I just recently started playing, so I only have like some of the early maps. So nothing really crazy going on in balloons right now. Yeah, I think it's middle of the road. Do I plan on doing co-op balloons? I would. I don't actually own this version of balloons. This is from my friend. We share Steam profiles, so I share my games with him. He shares his games with me. And we just kind of use that. For other games I stream, or other games I play while streaming, Dragon Ball FighterZ, Tekken 7, Tekken 8 when that comes out. Have a Nice Death. What's it called? Hades. I plan on doing more talks about Magic the Gathering, deck builds, theories, and pretty much things like that. I also play Final Fantasy 14. I'm not currently going to be playing on stream for a while, just because when I would stream, that was the only game I'd end up streaming, because that's the only game I ended up playing. Co-op chimps, maybe. One of these days, probably. Then I'm just gonna dump Monkey into this. Let's see. So, the Rona. She's 1 in a blue, legendary creature, human wizard, 1/3. Whenever you cast a legendary spell, untap Rona, Herald of Invasion. Okay. Tap to draw a card and discard a card. And then 5 in a Phyrexian black to transform Rona. Activate only as a sorcery. And then, when you transform her, she becomes a Phyrexian wizard, 5/5 with trample. Whenever a source deals damage to Rona, Tolarian Obliterator, that source's controller exiles a card from their hand at random. If it's a land card, you may put it on the battlefield under your control. Otherwise, you may cast it without paying its mana cost. Okay, so Rona's a little. That's crazy. It's a little mean. But you gotta have a source and opponent controls deal damage to her. So, and she has trample or menace. That's better. She's got trample. It's no, it's just whenever a source deals damage to Rona. Okay. So your own sources can deal damage to her, and exile a card from random. That's a different way to do it. I like Have a Nice Death. It's pretty fun to play. In the out and out, it's roguelike, dungeon crawler pretty much, or dungeon-like platformer, I guess. I have fun with it. I enjoy playing it when I do. so I'll probably not playing it here again soon. It might be my next stream. Let's see. Time to dump my money into another monkey. We'll get you. We'll get you with those. CYEM. Oh yeah. Okay. But yeah, that's a lot of what I was planning on talking about today. I think Rono. No, Rono's the last card we saw. Rono's interesting. She'll let you cast your own things from your hand without paying their mana cost to deal damage to her. Find a way to deal damage to her. There's black. There's ways to do it. It's interesting, but it's also legendary spells matter. So we'll see where that goes. She's just revealed, so I don't really have the ideas for her. I guess, like, you could run the legendary artifacts, like Bonsu's Monument, and I don't know the blue one, what is it, Catcher's Monument? And then, let's see. Invasion of Eldraine, another Battle Saga 3 and a black. And it's, when Invasion of Eldraine enters the battlefield, target opponent discards 2 cards. Flying, beginning of each opponent's upkeep, that player has 2 or fewer cards in hand. Prickle Fairies deals 2 damage to them. Okay. Interesting, interesting. And then there's Collective Nightmare, 2 and a black, instant, convoke. Target creature gets -3/-3 until end of turn. Okay. I don't need that. Let's use you. And wow, I haven't played much with you. Okay. Let's drop another one here. But yeah, those are so far all the new reveals. Up, Rampaging Raptor just got revealed. Trample Haste, 2 red, 4/4 creature dinosaur, 2 in a red, gets +2/+0 until turn. Whenever it deals combat damage to an opponent, it deals that much damage to target planeswalker that player controls, or battle that player protects. Okay. That's pretty cool, it's interesting. Yeah, it's just there's a lot of cards I guess I'm looking forward to, a lot of creatures I'm looking forward to. Maybe not even like me personally playing them. Just other people seeing them across the table, seeing how other people interact with them. I think really the only card from this set so far that I don't want to play against is that Jinkataxis. That Jinkataxis is kind of he's mean, he's rude, he's easy, and he's mono blue. So the way people are probably running it is they've got turn spells in that deck, they've got counter magic, they're gonna protect the hell out of them, and you're just gonna lose the game. And that's just kind of how it's gonna work. Yeah. Alright. So let's see. Let's talk about another one of the combo legends I'm interested in. Probably building, maybe. If I do, it'd be Goro Goro and Satoru. They are blue, black, red for a legendary creature, Goblin Human. Cool. 1 monkey knowledge point. And they say, whenever one or more creatures you control that enter the battlefield this turn deal combat damage to a player, create a 5/5 red dragon spirit talking with flying. You pay 1 in a red to give creatures you control haste until end of turn. There's you can do it with it wants to be ninja tribal, rogue tribal, ninjutsu things in, so you can deal damage with that. But why would you build it that? There's other ways to build it. Like you can do it with evasion travel. So run a bunch of creatures that have like menace, they can't be blocked, get some haste. Um, because it doesn't matter how much damage they do to a person, it just matters that they deal damage and they enter the battlefield that turn. Plus, since they give creatures haste, it's real easy to just go ahead. Oh hey, I'm gonna play these. I'm gonna put down 2/1/1s. They can't be blocked. I'll pay 2 mana. They have haste. I'll swing at you. Make 2 5/5 flyers. Put down like Impact Tremors, Warstorm Surge. Just deal damage to people. All right, let's see. How long can I run with just these creatures? I think, or these monkeys. I think I'm done adding monkeys. I'm gonna see how they go. How long this lasts. It probably won't last too much longer for this run. So that's Gorgo and Satoru. I'm interested in building them. Could do like a dragon tribal type thing. That's probably the hardest way to build them, because dragons tend to be expensive, but you could do it. So that would be pretty interesting. There's, like I said, ninjutsu. So swing with this creature, it's unblocked. It will spin this turn. Ninjutsu and another creature. Boom! I get a 5/5 dragon and the benefit for this ninjutsu. The pre-con I'm most excited for is probably Sidar Jabari of Zalfir. Pretty much what they do. It's Eminence, but it's not a broken Eminence ability. It's just Eminence. Whenever you attack with one or more knights, if Sidar Jabari of Zalfir is in the command zone on a battlefield, draw a card and discard a card. So it triggers once per turn, and it triggers once per your turns. So. And then it's got flying, first strike. It's 1 white, blue, black for a legendary creature human knight. Flying first striker. When it deals combat damage to a player, return target knight creature card from your graveyard battlefield. Specifically knight creature. So it really wants to be knight tribal. And that's pretty much what all the Eminence cards have been, and they've been a tribal deck of some sort. Alright, cool. I don't know. Go back to home. That's fine. Collect this, and it's gonna be a new tower. Darkman Gunner, Military Monkey, and my daily drop, because I have not been liking the daily. I work most days from like 6:30 till 3:30, and then I go hang out with some friends, so I hardly ever play. Oh, there's a new tower that releases later. Nice. Nice. I'll probably be on the lookout. I'm off today and tomorrow, so tomorrow will be a different game, and I'll probably actually be talking about that game when I stream it. I really wanted to get my thoughts down on the new Magic cards. Yeah, I don't just stream monkeys, at least. Let's see. I've got about another 30 minutes to stream before I gotta go meet a friend for lunch. So I was middle of the road. 1, 2, 3, yeah. We'll just go through. Like, I'll probably go through and I'll quote-unquote complete this game later. I guess you can't put monkeys there. Oh, okay. Yeah. So I'll put you here. And then I'll put you there. And then a dart monkey in case any of them get past. There you go. And then we're gonna do this. Cool. So, yeah. Cool. Austin's earlier this week. Interesting. Okay, cool. Oh, okay, so okay, I see. So as it goes by, you can more spaces for monkeys. Cool. I guess towers. Let's see. But yeah, Sidar, Jabari of Zalfir. There's not many different ways to build them, but it's tribal decks. I like tribal decks, especially tribal decks that have recursion, because I technically don't actually have a recursion deck. It's just kind of been that way. I need blue soak, so it sticks, and I need the corrosive glue. I know a friend of mine wants to do Brima's Blight of Oreskos, which is another interesting card. What he does is he's got he's 2 black white. Oh crap! All right, so I guess I need to get things over here now, and I'll throw you over here. I can't place him there. Okay, I'll place him here. He's got more vision than if I can cap here. He is a Phyrexian Cat, legendary creature, 3/4. And whenever you cast a Phyrexian creature or artifact creature spell, incubate X, where X is that spell's mana value. So, like I said earlier, incubate is just kind of... Incubate's a new keyword that says you get an artifact that enters with that many +1/+1 counters on it, and then you can pay 2 to transform the artifact into a Phyrexian creature. Yeah, I need to get that corrosive glue. So every time you cast a Phyrexian or artifact creature, you get another artifact, or you get that, you get the incubate. You get the incubate token. And then, he has, at the beginning of each end step, if a Phyrexian died under your control this turn, proliferate. So we don't know, we have no idea what the precons are going to look like at this moment in time. When does it? The pre-release happens next Friday. So usually by the pre-release, all the cards are like out and revealed and everything. So that's where we'll probably see more of what they have to offer. But yeah, he makes Phyrexian creature tokens in a sense. So he's cool. You need to have the long range darts and eventually the enhanced eyesight. You're good for now. I'll give you like blobs. We've got Kazla, the Broken Halo. She is 3 blue, red, white for a angel ally with Convoke. So your creatures can outcast a spell. Each creature you tap while casting pays for one generic or 1 mana of that creature's color. It's got flying, vigilance, and haste, and whenever you cast another spell that has Convoke, scry 2, then draw a card. So she gives you card selection and card advantage every time you cast a spell with Convoke. Pretty strong. Before this set came out, there wasn't a lot of Convoke cards that were pretty good. It seems like they're releasing a bunch now, so that's gonna be helpful. Yeah, you go monkeys, you go monkeys. You need that, and then soon I'll give you the night vision goggles, and then you'll just kind of be you'll do your thing. I think you're gonna be good for a while. You don't need much for a bit. And then I'll upgrade you after I upgrade him. And I think that'll be enough towers to go for a little bit. You need night vision, and I'll give you the full metal jacket. I guess I'll give you fast firing. You might need that more. So that's Kasla. She's Convoke Tribal. I saw it. I was hoping she'd be more Angel Tribal, but she's not. Which is fine. She's kind of... You Convoke, you get benefit, which is nice. You get card selection, and you get bonuses. Stickier glue. I don't need big so I need glue soak. There is Bright Palm, Soul Awakener. It's 1 red, green, white for a legendary creature, Fox Shaman with backup 1. Another new mechanic for this set. Backup 1 says whenever this creature attacks, double the number. Or backup 1 says when this creature enters the battlefield, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature. If it's another creature that's not this one, it gains the following ability until the turn. So everything below the backup 1, if you give it to another creature, that creature gains that as well. And the ability is whenever this creature attacks, double the number of +1/+1 counters on target creature. That creature can't be blocked by creatures with power 2 or less. So you buff your board, you get benefit. It's in green, so there's ways of putting +1/+1 counters on creatures. Red, you can give many different things. Haste. White, so you can actually flicker Bright Palm and get the effects multiple times, maybe in a turn, or give +1/+1 counters to different creatures. I'm gonna give you a full metal jacket because you're gonna be pretty good, helpful. And then there's the last one of the precons, because there's 5 precons this set, is Gimbal, Gremlin Prodigy. It's 2 green, blue, red for a legendary creature, Gremlin Artificer. It gives artifact creatures you control have trample, so your artifact creatures get trample, which is pretty strong in terms of abilities that you can have. And then it says, beginning of your end step, create a 0/0 red gremlin artifact creature token. So it makes you an artifact creature token, and you put X +1/+1 counters on it, where X is the number of differently named artifact tokens you control. So, like Soldier, there's the Soldier artifact creature cards that they make, that they introduced in Brothers War. Those are artifact creatures, they have their name. There's Treasure, there's Food, there's Clue, there's Banana. Can't really make bananas with this deck, can you? Actually, wait. No, I think you can make bananas with this deck. He's got, yeah, you can make bananas with this deck. He's got green and red. So, you can make bananas. So I get, there's a lot you can do with him. And then you're gonna have a fast firing. So those are all the commander. Those are the 5 commander precons. It's Sidar, Jabari of Zalfir, Khasla, the Broken Halo, Bright Palm, Soul Awakener, Gimbal, Gremlin Prodigy, and Brimas, Bride of Ureskos, or Brimas. I don't actually know how to pronounce his name. But yeah. So, things are looking interesting. Can't really say things are looking any kind of, like, busted or anyway, because they're really not. Everything's just looking kind of, in a way, it's looking balanced. Which is good. Except for that Jingataxis. That Jingataxis is anything but fair and balanced. So yeah, I guess we're gonna go ahead. I probably have time to finish this run of balloons. So I'll probably finish this run, and then I gotta head out, go get lunch with a friend. And it'll be a nice little stream. So again, if you're new here, if you just stopped by, if you enjoy the content, if you want to hear more about my thoughts on Magic cards coming up in the near future, what they're doing, what it seems they can do, and things like that, please go ahead, hit the follow button. If you want to get caught up on any of my previous streams, catch up on any previous stories I might have told or anything like that, you can find the VODs on YouTube, also at BulkyTheYoshi. I upload my VODs there because Twitch is doing a thing where your VODs don't last for a month anymore, they last for 7 days. So if you want to keep an archive of your content, you can't keep it here, you gotta put it somewhere else. So I put mine on YouTube, so if you want to catch up on any previous VODs, you can go there. All the fires can be great. And I think you need the intense magic. Yeah, you need the intense magic. So I'm gonna go for that. I'm gonna go for the shimmer. That's pretty much it for in terms of magic for the day. I want to save some stuff to talk about for later this week, just because I know there's gonna be a lot more. And yeah, I'm playing with the jazz theme. I like the jazz theme. It's chill. I like it. It just keeps me going. But yeah, I'm Bloom the theme 5 or the 5 one. Okay, I gotta give you the monkey sense. Yeah, I like I said, you might not have been here earlier, but I'm kind of new to Bloons. I haven't actually really played it before. It's not my Bloons account; it's a friend's Bloons, and so using this to play it, using his account to play it, not his account, but we have the Steam library share, so I share my games with him. He shares his games with me. And because he's been playing the Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba Chronicles, that new like storm like game, he's been playing that one, and that one's the one I own, and so 2 more layers. I need the shimmer so that I can have, I guess these guys can see them, so I guess I don't really need the shimmer, actually, think about it. It's a nice game. I like Bloons. It's nice, it's relaxing. So I like to play it if I just want to sit here, play a game that I don't really have to think much on, and just kind of do. Another one of the games I like to play is Slay the Spire. It's hard for me to stream it because I don't have integration, and I can't figure out how to get the Twitch integration for Slay the Spires. I actually don't really use the mortars much. I probably should. Just because they'd probably help out more than what I have been doing. Okay. And then I want you to have the bigger radius. I don't need to grow blocker because you guys kill the Groblins pretty fast. And I don't need you guys to be able to see the camouflage because most of y'all can already see the camouflage. Mortar and Striker drones. Okay. Monkey business. Monkey town. So mortars and striker drones. I'll give them a try. This one. Column shooter. Mortars. Where are the mortars? This guy, right? Yeah, mortar monkey. Because he just shoots to an area. Alright. Where can I place you? Bomb shooters too. Set target. I'll put you there. And then we're gonna do bigger blast. Yeah. Yeah, I'll give those a try. Top and middle is best. Okay. So it's like here. And then faster reload so you can shoot faster. And then let's see, top and middle. I guess I'll put another one. You won't say there, so I'll put you here. And I'll put that one there. And I again, fast reload, and sure. Increased accuracy. So let's see. What was I talking about? Yeah, Slay the Spire has just been kind of like the game I played in the background. Just to kind of... It's like my game... It's like my... I don't have to really think too much about it game. Jungle Drums. Increase that radius. So it's nice to play. Ah, crap. I was not prepared for Moabs. Did I just lose? Yep, I lost. Alright. We'll restart. Actually, no. I gotta start getting ready. Playing with the lag switch. I gotta start getting ready to get to lunch. So, I'm probably gonna end up ending the stream here. It's been great having you guys. Glad for those of you who stuck around till the end. Remember, again, if you want, I'm going to be putting this spot up on YouTube. So if you want to listen to any of my thoughts about Magic the Gathering that I talked about, so a few of the cards, all the creators, I think one combo legend, one of the legendary creatures that flip over for my deck ideas or anything like that, go ahead, hit this follow button. You can find the VODs on YouTube at BulkyTheYoshi, so it's also my name. And I also have a Twitter where I post things about, usually it's where I post when I'm going live, at Keo the Monk. I'm gonna go ahead and send that in the chat so that you guys can actually see that. And it's just, yeah, my Twitch is Keo the Monk, so you can find me there. I follow a bunch of different YouTubers and stuff. Haven't actually collabed with any of them because I'm new to the streaming thing. I'm new to the sphere. But yeah, I've been enjoying myself. I've been enjoying my time here. And I want to thank you guys for stopping by again. I guess we'll raid Mr. Happy. He's the only other person who's live right now that I follow. So we'll go ahead, hit that follow button, send you guys over to him. He's playing Final Fantasy X. So that could be a little fun. And I'm unable to raid Mr. Happy at this time. Interesting. Let's see, who else is live that I might not follow, but let's just see. Wow, we got... I don't know. Let's just go with Crystal, I guess. Let me see if I can find them. If I can spell it correctly. I don't think that was it. Am I spelling the name correctly? C-R-Y. Yeah, alright. So I'm gonna send you guys over to Crystal. She's playing Octopath Traveler 2. Or he, I don't actually know them. But yeah, we're gonna send you over there. Again, thank you guys for stopping by. You can find the VOD on YouTube. And I'm gonna be rating Crystal. So, once again, thank you guys for stopping by. And when you get over there, say greetings or something. Say hey.